Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Boruto Anime review. This one's going to be for episode 61, which is called The Iron Sand User Shinki. And yeah, this was the episode I suppose we were waiting for as we transition from the Chunin exam itself into the Otsutsuki invasion with Momoshiki. Things are just going to get more and more intense from here on out. And the focus of this episode, of course, is Boruto, I suppose, being outed as a cheater and how they did it, plus the unique thing in the anime compared to the manga and the movie of the final match where the interruption happens, the cheating obviously comes out, being a three-way match involving Shinki as well as Sarada. So yeah, let's start with the fight. I thought it was definitely a good fight. Was it like the best we've ever seen? Did it match up against a lot of the stuff from original Naruto? Perhaps not, but for what they were building towards, which was the need to cheat, while establishing, I suppose, Shinki as being more powerful than Sarada and Boruto at this point, but like the potential is there. It did what it needed to do without being like the fight where they blew everyone away. It was good because, you know, we got to see his kind of the Iron Black Fist attack, which is this kind of electromagnetic kind of giant punching thing that's really quick. And especially the move he used to take out Sarada, which was a kind of shocking thing that, you know, they're working together, they're not really getting a lot done. Sarada goes in for her like big move, I suppose, to do the kind of like kind of cherry blossom crash, you know, the Sakura move, but gets hit by the iron sand kind of homing in on her. Really brutal, like just establishing that like Sarada got wrecked in this moment by the iron sand kind of feathers, as well as getting slammed against the wall, and she's just out. And with Boruto, I actually really liked what they did here, in that you had him trying to pull out all of the moves that he could, it not breaking through, him going for what is now his, I suppose, finishing move, the Boruto stream, and it working to a point. And then they show you the flashbacks of the scene with Konohamaru from a couple of episodes back, the scene with Sasuke from, I think it was just either last episode or the one before, pointing out the fact that you have the potential to be great, but right now you have to work on building your strength. But one day you will be able to use extremely powerful jutsu. And they establish here that Boruto's stream, if it was at its full power, if he had maximized how strong his lightning style is, would have won that match. But right now where he was, I suppose, without the hard work involved, it was nothing more than potential. It was beginning to crack the iron sand, but that was it. He needed to use the purple lightning to actually make it happen. And the purple lightning as the thing that really signifies, I suppose, the cheating, I thought was interesting, because we obviously know that this is a signature technique for Kakashi that he developed because he can't use Chidori anymore because he doesn't have the Sharingan. So he has this purple lightning attack instead. And I suppose they're basically saying that, look, Boruto's good, but that is a signature move that Kakashi can use, and he's never thought anyone it, so that is a signifier that he's used this scientific ninja tool, which Naruto knows about, which I thought worked well, as opposed to, like, I think it was in the movie, it was what Naruto telling Hinata to use her Byakugan to find out what was going on. Here he just notices it by the fact that, look, he used a signature technique that couldn't have possibly been you, and that's what pointed it out to him. Mitsuki seemed to notice the device earlier on in the fight, but didn't really have a reaction. But it was cool because he won the fight. Like, if it was just a battle outside of the Chunin exams, he beat Shinki in that fight by taking him by surprise by using the ninja tool right at the last second and overpowering him. But in terms of a Chunin exam fight where it's meant to be your own strength and not like basically how powerful of a kind of tool you use with you, especially the ninja tool that Boruto has, where it's literally just firing off someone else's jutsu and all you're doing is just firing it. So, you know, you can praise Boruto for the timing of the attack and like using the correct one to win the fight, but for the Chunin exam, of course, he made the mistake. It's of course the wrong thing to do. But the fact that like he had the flashback of like wanting to prove himself to everyone, his father, all that sort of stuff, and then he uses it, thinking that like, no, it's not time for hard work. It's time to just do it now. It's showing you that he's still unwilling to put in the hard work to make this happen on his own. And that's what he has to learn here. That Naruto isn't the person he is now. Sasuke isn't the person he is now just because he happened to be really strong. They got there, and especially Naruto, his father, is the perfect example of someone who went from being the worst person in the class to being the Hokage, the most powerful ninja in the village. And while he's obviously constantly compared to Naruto, and that is a part of his character arc of like, it does affect him to be compared to that, to be expected to do great things and living up to it for the most part. But now that he's sort of hitting that wall where he needs to go beyond, it's suddenly becoming a problem. And that's what this lesson that he's going to learn here is obviously about. So in the sense of the setup, I think they've done it really, really well here. While also, I suppose, setting up some stuff going forward, because it worked so much better than the movie here because you had the setup. He went further into the tournament. He wins the Chunin exams here, which wasn't necessarily the case in the movie. I don't know if they ever said what round the Shikadai match was in the movie where they did it, but it worked better here that you actually had him beat Shikadai. You set up the fact that Shikadai is really upset after putting in hard work himself, coming up with that new move that Boruto had to cheat to get out of, and the aftermath of like, he's not used to being this intense about things, but he is intense about losing and wants to beat Boruto again. Now he's found out that, oh, more than likely the reason I lost was because you cheated, and just the emotional reaction from seeing that. And they even kind of pointed out that like, we're going to have to look back at the entire tournament to like work out like how the results of these matchups would have went without the cheating, in that they have to say that like, okay, he didn't cheat to get past the first round of the test, but his teammates did most of the work. But he did cheat in like every other round basically. So it's one of those things where like, you can still acknowledge that Boruto is strong in that how long he stayed in the final match before resorting to cheating, but for sure the cheating has to be acknowledged. And it was just really, I suppose, well done, just the reaction of everyone, the shock from everyone, the Kage kind of giving their thoughts on it, Naruto's reaction of just walking off silently and then appearing. That's always worked in like the movie, the manga here. Just the moment of like Boruto thinking Naruto's coming up to him to give him the fist bump, but then grabbing the arm and kind of pointing it out to everyone what's going on. Then of course Katasuke coming in here, and the sense of betrayal in a way there, of just realizing that he's sort of been played. And I wonder how exactly they're going to play revealing that Katasuke is under mind control, because he's came across fairly well up until like the last couple of episodes, where he's felt like a complete villain out to just promote his ninja tool. But we'll see exactly how that plays out as we go forward. But really just lowest moment for Boruto here, just in front of everyone, making the Leaf Village look bad, making Naruto look bad, making himself look bad. And how does he come back from this, and what sort of a character is he to get to where he needs to be? And that's what's telling. And it's interrupted potentially any sort of like what he would say after this by the arrival of Kinshiki and Momoshiki. No sign of Urashiki though, whatever's going on there. But that's another thing, like, how are they going to resolve him as we go forward? But yeah, from what we're going to get here, obviously the big Momoshiki stuff is the Kage jumping into action, Naruto especially, Sasuke is going to come in, and Boruto is going to see up close what makes Naruto the Hokage, what he brings to the village, and why, in a way, like, okay, yes, he has valid reasons to be upset that Naruto isn't home as much, but why he has to understand that Naruto has to protect the entire village. And he's going to see that up close here, and that's going to be the turning point, in a way, for the character, kind of spurred on by Sasuke. So, I'm really excited to see how they do this. It's one of those weird things where like I'm excited for the fight, but I'm so excited to get to the plot stuff that happens afterwards as well. But it should be a really fun journey over the next couple of episodes, and then to see what they do in the aftermath of the movie arc. Do they cover manga content immediately, or do they do other stuff? Because like there is other setup and stuff going on here, like the Mitsuki Sage Mode thing, and like him setting up that like not everyone knows what's going on with Orochimaru, and Orochimaru seemingly maybe planning something here. That feels like it has to get some sort of resolution. You've now sort of really put in place a real like issue that needs to be resolved between Boruto and Shikadai. That just Boruto like beating the Ototsukis and like redeeming himself isn't going to fully fix that. But we'll see where we go. So there's a lot going on, and then like Shinki, I suppose, will be upset at losing. I wonder how he necessarily feels about the cheating, because he seems like very focused on power. It'll probably be one of those things where like he'll be aware that Boruto was close to breaking through it just normally, and him resorting to the purple lightning was this kind of like, sure, a thing that overpowered him, but that if Boruto works harder, and if he sees Boruto take down like Momoshiki and Otsutsuki in the way he does, he's suddenly going to be like, okay, he cheated to beat me that time, but after what he's done at the end of this arc, he's just as strong as me, and it feels like that's going to be a rivalry that continues. So will there be another Chunin exams to resolve this, or will there be some sense of like potentially Shinki doing something villainous and Boruto needing to bring him back? Some way to present a fight between the two of them that's not just that doesn't require a Chunin exam to happen. But yeah, that's the review for episode 61. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on this episode. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.